Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at Fisker. Fisker's officially unveiled their world-breaking Pear SUV, a game-changer SUV under £30,000, allegedly anyway. But this SUV is actually looking rather nice. It's looking quite affordable, which is exactly what Fisker wanted to do in the EV market, is to be that affordable that can offer customers premium, comfortable drive. So, at Fisker's Product Vision Day, the unveiling of the Pear was met with enthusiasm, applause. The EV has been created from the ground up for young people living in the cities and is ranged to have a £30,000 starting price when it goes on sale in 2025. The Pear boasts a design inspired by a glider, which is clear from the deep wrap-around windscreen. This visibility should come in handy for city driving, where this vehicle is anticipated to predominantly be. Additionally, its side bodywork features a flush rear three-quarter window and a roof with an integrated spoiler. This is to provide extra functionalities as a solar panel and an ideal feature for sunny locations. It is smart that they consider solar panels because if your vehicle is in sunny conditions, Los Angeles, the Caribbean, you should always consider, well, if these vehicles are just sitting down most of the time, they can get charge from the sun. And perhaps it's not a lot, but they can accumulate. Maybe they can accumulate 5 to 10%, maybe even 15% of their lifetime charge from the sun. That makes a big difference when it comes to the overall grid. That's less impactful on the environment and the overall grid. So it's nice that Fisker was thinking about this. I can really appreciate that attention to detail. I do like the color of this vehicle. I don't think I like everything, but I do like the color. Now, if you look at the full roof of this vehicle, the full roof looks to be a solar panel roof, which is really good. I like that Fisker has taken this step to actually invest in solar panel vehicles. While the vehicle cannot be completely powered by solar panels, I understand that, solar panels can still provide a decent amount of range. What about people that are only doing a few miles a day? There's people out there that are only doing 10 to 20 miles a day. They're not doing hundreds of miles a week. They're perhaps not doing hundreds of miles a day, which means that solar panels can be really useful depending on the weather condition. Now, something interesting about this vehicle is that the rear door, it's kind of like a slide door. It just slides down, which is really interesting. It's like the California feature from the Fisker Ocean. The interior, I must say, I'm not a huge fan of the interior, to say the least. The interior is not impressive to me. I think it's very simple, which is okay in some instances, but I think for me, it's a little bit too simple. And I think despite the fact that it's aiming to be a more affordable SUV, I think at the same time, you want to make that interior cockpit experience a little bit more enjoyable. Now, hopefully by the time that this vehicle comes to market, they can improve it somewhat, especially the interior. But overall, I think it's a positive reception for this vehicle. Fisker also announced a few other vehicles that are really nice, such as the Ronin, the Sportster, and sedan, by the way. And they also announced the Alaska, the Fisker Alaska, which is really cool, by the way. That's like a huge pickup truck, and the color is nice. Now, if we take a quick glance of the interior in this vehicle, that interior looks much more appealing. Of course, this vehicle will also be much more expensive. You know, look at the boot space, so this is clearly a competitor for the Tesla Cybertruck and for the Ford F-150. It's a pickup truck, it's going to be a competitor in that area. But you can see that the interior is that much improved. And this vehicle, the price set to be set around £36,000. And this is offering up to 230 to 340 miles. So I think when it comes to the Fisker Pear, I think they could improve it a little bit. Hopefully they do over time, especially if it's not selling well. I'm not a fan of the seats either. I didn't get to see this vehicle in complete, but I think the interior could do with a little bit of improving. Now, Fisker Pear offers two-seat configuration, a conventional 5-seater layout or a 6-seater setup that includes 3-seat bench in the front. No matter which offer you choose, you can fold all seats down for added luggage spaces. Plus, there's plenty of storage room with the frunk located under the bonnet and the Houdini boot tucked away in the rear bumper without taking up as much space when open. Fisker hasn't yet supplied capacity for either compartment. However, you will miss out on the giant swiveling infotainment screen that is usually included. This is what I mean. You won't be getting that screen, which is fine. I kind of understand. But it's not just a screen. I think it's the entire interior experience. It's just a little bit more simple, a little bit more cheap. But they need to find a way to make it cheap, but better, in my opinion. But I think they want to make it as super cheap to build as much as possible because they want to make a huge margin on this vehicle. That's the point of selling vehicles, is to make a big margin. So no information has been released yet on the electric range that will be available, but you can expect 2 battery options with a larger capacity providing more than 300 miles. It comes in either rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive configuration, and Fisker claims it will be an enjoyable ride. So what makes this car quite affordable? Cheaper than the Peugeot E208. For one, it is 35% fewer components in comparison with other cars. 35%. That's huge. That's more than a quarter. An example of this cost efficiency is that all the doors have been identically armrests, which significantly reduce manufacturing and machining costs. And this is what always appeared to me as soon as I saw the vehicle, is that they're going to cut costs on this vehicle as much as possible. Also, this vehicle is probably going to be the most sold vehicle out of all of their vehicles. So they naturally want to cut as much cost and make as much profit on this vehicle. That's just business. It just makes sense. Now, the onboard computer of the car utilizes fewer ECUs than its competitors, and it's connected to 5G for convenience in retrieving over-the-air updates. Furthermore, its AI capabilities allow it to foresee defects before they become a problem. So that's very interesting. Very nice vehicle from Fisker, to be honest. Like I said, I think it's just the interior that I don't particularly like at this moment. Fisker has been introducing some other EV variants, such as the Fisker Ocean. They've got the Force E edition, which is a bit more like an off-road kind of vehicle, made for camping, made for, like a Land Rover kind of vehicle, which is nice because I do like Land Rover and anything to do with Land Rovers. So on their website, this is what they show off the vehicle to be in the teaser image. In the teaser video, I should say as well. From this video, the interior certainly looks a little bit better, but I still think it can do with some improvements. I think overall this could be a very popular vehicle with the market. It's a small display in the interior. I think it could also depend on the color you choose, which could make this vehicle look slightly different. Now at the front of this vehicle, something at the front is just popping out. I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what that is. That was not really talked about that much in the presentation. At the rear, you got the Houdini doors, and that just comes down. The mirror comes down, the door comes down. That's very interesting. I wonder how they intend on accomplishing that fully. Very interesting strategy for a Fisker SUV, and very different from the rest of the market as well. So this vehicle is available to be pre-ordered. Once again, this is not financial advice, and this is not sponsored. It seems like they're looking for pre-order for around $250. Now, at a later date, they'll probably ask customers to pay even more to get some assurance on that purchase if people are really sure. But also, allowing these pre-orders allow the company to gather more funding. People will pre-order and they will be able to get more funding for their vehicles. Now, if you look at something like the Alaska, that huge display in the front, that's usually supposed to be a rotating display. On Fisker vehicles, they really like those rotating display. I will talk about the Alaska vehicle in another video. So that is it for today. Hope you enjoy this. I will also talk about the Fisker Ronin. This is the sport vehicle, the sport sedan, or it's also going to be a convertible. This looks like it's going to be a really wild vehicle. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'll talk about this in another video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.